So the first thing you have here is a USB. This should be loaded on your computer. So when it's done, there's a vector icon that is on your desktop. It's all self-installed, but you want to make sure that this gets loaded into your computer. The next is, depending on what type of machine you have, if you have a screw-powered machine, you would probably mount this next. It has multiple holes for different size machines. So all our screw-powered machines have T-slots, different size T-slots for different size machines. It comes with T-nuts, okay? So these T-nuts fit into the T-slots with the bolts. The bolts fit in through here, which screw into the T-nut, and you would tighten it down depending on the height that you needed for your test. If you're using a hydraulic machine, you would get these optional. They don't come with it. They have to be quoted separately, are rings to mount on the columns of your SL. So typically these would get mounted. There's two bolts here that separate them, and then they get locked in to the back of the slide bar here. So this gets mounted one here, and there's different size holes for different size brackets. And you can see we have many different size brackets that you will need for the many different size hydraulic machines that we have. Next, once I have my brackets mounted, I would typically take the Vector and mount this on one of the side brackets. So there's a bag of bolts here. These bolts here with an Allen wrench comes with it. They would mount on any one of these sides of the Vector. There's holes on either side, so you can put it in many different configurations. This, by the way, is the power button to turn the Vector on. It will light up. There is also connectors down the bottom here, which this is your power for the Vector itself. This would plug in here. This plug, this Cat5 cable, would plug in here. This again comes with the Vector. Once you have this bracket mounted, you would have this mounted to the T-slot, and that just slides on here like this. You tighten this down, lock it in place. The Vector with this mount would slide right over top of this. Okay, so now my Vector can move in different directions. This is an optional arm. It comes with the Vector kit. You do not need to use it for every application. You may find on SLs that you may need to use it more to get in front of the specimen or to get the right angle. So this gives you more travel to mount on there. So once you have this block connected, you'll see there's various power cords that come with it for different countries. We send this all over the world. You can use it in the UK, Saudi, China, all different kind of plugs for different parts of the world. This item here is a strain module. If I'm using the strain rate control feature in the software, the Vector can control strain rate based off the marks on the sample. Okay, so this is optional. It is not used all the time. And you have different marking things that come with the Vector. There's black and blue pen. I find the blue pen works for most applications. There's also marking gauges here, 1 inch, 2 inch. If you have odd size gauge lengths, we can accommodate that with different size marking templates. There's also stamps. You have 50 millimeter and 1 or 2 inch. or 25 millimeter and 50 millimeter, 1 inch, 2 inch stamps. You have different color ink for those stamps. And finally, you have Quick Start Guide. The Vector Quick Start Guide, it shows you how to set it up, where to plug it in, all those kind of things, what you should be reading when you get it connected and seeing things, troubleshooting, that sort of thing. It will help you figure that out. There's also a Vector marking guide. It's really good that you look at this to see there's all different kinds of ways to mark this, your specimens. It's going to be a little trial and error that you're going to have to play with and see, do the circles work or do the stamps work better? It's all depending on the material, and you might have to do a little trial and error with that, but it's a very good guide as far as marking the specimen.